We've all been racing against time, trying to get more. In this world, where he lives constantly glued to his cell phones, there are a few who live in nature, just as they did centuries ago. Although climate change and the modern pattern of exploitation have led to a decline in their population, these tribes are still alive. In this video we have compiled interesting tribes that still exist in the world. Number 10. Sentinel Tribe. The Sentinel tribe is considered one of the most isolated and aggressive societies in the world. Tribal members who have lived on the northern Sentinel Island of the Indian Ocean for more than 60,000 years live in isolation from the outside world, rejecting modern social order. The islanders, who refuse to communicate with any foreign community from outside, openly demonstrate their aggressive attitude by attacking the arrivals with arrows. Today, this island is still kept as an entry-free zone for the safety of both islanders and visitors. No scientific trip to the region is carried out, and the Sentinel tribe continues to live away from modern society. Number 9. Surma Tribe. Ethiopia's Surma tribe has been avoiding contact with the West for years. Although they are very well known to Westerners for their huge lip gag, they do not want to be in contact with any government. The Surma tribe lived in groups of hundreds, and with ordinary cattle farms as colonization, world wars and struggles continued in the name of independence. In the 1980s, the first people to speak to the people of Surma were a few Russian doctors. The tribesmen thought they were dead walking because of their skin color. Nudity is never a problem in this tribe. Number 8. Kayapo Tribe. A Brazilian tribe living in 44 different villages connected by hard-to-see roads along the Kayapo-Xingu River call themselves the Mabengakar, meaning people of great water. Unfortunately, their great waters are about to change radically. Because the Belo Monte Dam, which is still being built on the Xingu River, is nearing completion. Because of this construction, almost half the forest will be flooded, and many creatures and plants, as well as the Kayapo tribe, will suffer from it. These tribal members who make colorful heads that are interested in agriculture, which paints color on their bodies. He is known to be slowly trying to keep up with the modern world. Number 7. Spinifex Tribe. Spinifex or Pilanguru is an aboriginal tribe that has lived in the Great Victorian Desert for at least 15,000 years, one of the harshest climates to live in. This tribe was mostly left alone because they were in such a cold and dry occupied environment even after the Europeans settled in Australia. But that changed in the 1950s. Interestingly, the artworks they left in the area helped prove that they were indigenous peoples in 1997. They received wide acclaim with many individual and social works of art. Although it is difficult to determine how many Spinifex members are currently available. Their largest community, known as Junjunhara, consists of between 180 and 220 people. Number 6. Swamp Tribe. The Swamp Tribe, which lives on Palawan Island in the Philippines, is home to the most genetically diverse people on the planet. They think they belong to the Negrito and Australoid race, the furthest breeds of relatives to Africans, and that we all come from this race. This suggests they were one of the first groups to leave Africa 70,000 years ago and are thought to have crossed into the Philippines from the Asian continent about 20,000 years ago. A typical Negritos from the Swamp Tribe is short and has hair like curly wool. Traditionally, women wear sarongs. Men either wear nothing or use G-strings, feathers or jewelry to cover certain places. Like many other indigenous tribes, their populations have decreased due to diseases, land invasions, modern exploitation. It currently has about 300 to 500 members. Number 5. Andamanese Tribe. Andamanese are also classified as Negritos, but they are also called pygmies because of their extremely short height. They live in the Bay of Bengal on Andaman Island. Like the Swamp Tribe, they are thought to be one of the first groups to migrate from Africa, and by the 18th century they were largely thriving in isolation. They didn't even know how to light a fire until the 19th century. Andamanese is divided into different tribes with different languages and cultures in themselves. When the last member of the Boat tribe, one of them, died in 2010 at the age of 85, it was also extinct. The other tribe, Sentinelese, is known for its fierce resistance to today's technological age. They still live like their ancestors without being integrated into a great Indian culture. For example, fish, pigs or turtles use uniform weapons such as bows and arrows to hunt. Men and women work together to collect plant roots and honey, and in doing so they sing regularly. It seems their way of life is just to work for themselves. Number 4. Paraha tribe. Although there are many small primitive tribes throughout the Amazon and Brazil, the Paraha tribe is a fascinating tribe. Because they have a very different language and culture than other people on Earth. Parahas are very different from Westerners in general. They reject the missionaries' messages with all their full force and are not interested in our technology at all. They don't have leaders, and they don't have sexual obsessions like we do. They do not establish sexual or emotional relationships with other people or tribes to provide the resources needed. This group has remained unchanged for centuries because they don't have much external contact. Number 3. Takuakol tribe. Takuakol is a tribe of Polynesian origin. But because they have an outlier culture, it is thought that they would rather live in the Melanesia region than live in the Polynesian Triangle. They still live in their straw-roofed home and tell stories about having an older history than Europe. Unlike most of us who spend our days working, Takuakol people spend 20 to 30 hours a week dancing and singing. Surprisingly, they have over 1,000 songs in their memory. This tribe, which has about 400 members, is ruled by a single leader. Number 2. El Molo tribe. Kenya's centuries-old El Molo tribe is the smallest in the country, but faces every threat you can think of. They already live in isolation in a small area due to the constant harassment of other tribes around them. But they still haven't found peace. This tribe, whose names mean people who make their living from things other than cattle or cattle breeding, use only fish, aquatic creatures and trade to survive. Number 1. Agori tribe. It amazes anyone who has seen the Agori tribe in Varanasi, India, famous for eating the dead. Agori people who live in places where the dead are cremated paint the ashes of the dead in their bodies. There is not much picture information about Agori people who continue their perverted worship very secretly. Agori people believe that man's greatest fear is his own products. That's why they see the way to face death as eating the dead. According to this culture, clergy, children, unmarried or pregnant women cannot be cremated. Instead, they leave it in the river after they die. Agori people also pick them up from the river and eat them. Agori people are very unpopular in India and are known as a very discreet society because they believe in the physical and spiritual power of eating human flesh.